Hi everybody, welcome to the Field of Skye Knitting and Making Podcast, episode 8. I'm happy to have you here. I've got lots of exciting things to show you today to wrap up the month of May and then go into a fun, how would I describe what I'm hoping June to be? Just like a new kind of exploratory creative month in June, but more on that later. So I guess I'll start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing my first finished object. I'll show you this ribbed, so it's 2x2 ribbed tank top, and this is the first tank top I've made without a pattern, and it's definitely very far from perfect. It cuts into my, cuts past my shoulders more than I intended, but it's still cute, and I've been able to finagle my bra under it so that the straps don't show very much, at least. So I've been wearing it like this. I could go back in and add some ribbing around here, which would just like bring this out a little bit more and give it more of like a finished edge here, which I still might do. I haven't really decided, but I just got so excited that I'd gotten it wearable that I'd just been wearing it like this, and I love it so much. I did, let me see if I can show you. I did a twisted rib for the neckline, which I love. It was my first time using twisted rib on a project, and I've been really wanting to use it, but I just haven't. Every time I get to a rib stitch, I either flake out because I've never done it before, or I just forget to try. So yeah, but I love it. It's a very comfortable tank top. It is wool, so it's DK weight superwash merino, dyed by Queen's Yarn Boutique in the color bronzer. I'll have her yarn linked below. So, on a 90-degree day here in North Carolina, I can't really wear it like out in the direct sun, but honestly, it's perfect for hot summer days when I'm gonna be mostly inside in the air conditioning. So I can still have kind of my shoulders free. Could choose to wear a sweater if I want, but have my shoulders mostly free, but then feel like kind of protected from the air conditioning with the shirt. Yeah, I guess I didn't completely introduce myself either. My name is Rachel Loftus. I'm an artist living in the Raleigh, North Carolina area with my husband JD and my 2-year-old son Denali. And I've been knitting and crocheting and making things more or less my whole life. I'm 31, I'll be 32 in July, and just love to make and play. And right now my main medium has been fiber, so this is mostly a fiber channel, but anyways, welcome. Did that kind of out of order, but it's fine. It's, real life. Okay, so that's what I'm wearing, and we can just go right. Oh wait, actually, I wanted to recap May's goals for you, because it's been a whole month. Usually I try to film twice a month, but May, I didn't have as much help with Den as I normally do, my son, and so I just wasn't able to film a second time in May, which means I wasn't able to update you on goal progress. So just to recap, my May goals were to finish the Stegosaurus I'm about to show you, finish my framework bralette, and I wanted to get my cardigan sleeves mapped out and knitted up and finish the cardigan, and then I also wanted to knit this tank top. So I hadn't started this tank top. I just showed you the yarn in the last episode at the beginning of May. So this honestly only took me about a week and a half to knit, because it was just like ribbing all the way up. I did a little bit of finishing here. Yeah, so it was super, super fast. But yeah, so those are my May goals, and as we go through the podcast, I will tell you, kind of update you on each one of those. Oh yeah, one final one was my minimalism project of the month was to get rid of, or at least like use up the frames that I have sitting here in the office. And I have, spoiler, I have not done that, but I do have more of a plan for them for June, so I'll talk about that too in a bit. So yeah, let's get into finished stuff. And the first thing I have is this Stegosaurus. It's gotten lots of love because I finished it at the beginning of May. When I first finished it, all these all these plates could stand up. But yeah, Den has hugged on this a lot. He's got these cute little eyes that are just embroidered on, and then here's his little tail spikes. But yeah, Den loves him. I remember last episode I talked about how these were the biggest plates and they weren't standing up, and I was like, can I put something inside of them to make them a bit stiffer? And I just didn't like all my options for that, so I ended up re-crocheting them a bit smaller, and they're still bigger than the ones next to it, which is what I wanted, but they're not as big, so they stand up a little bit easier. They're not as floppy. So yeah, I'm very happy with him. He was fun. Pretty labor intensive, more than I expected, just because every single row going up his back was different because I'm increasing and decreasing at different spots. And these plates, every row is different too as you're doing the shaping. None of it was like hard, but you definitely had to really pay attention to the pattern. And yeah, so it's a little bit more tedious than I expected, which means that I wasn't able to work on it all the time because I can't always multitask. So anyways, I'm glad he's done. I'm glad Den's enjoying playing with them. And yeah, so I guess you can finally say goodbye to the Stegosaurus since he's finished. My next finished thing, which I'm very excited about, is my framework bralette. Yay! This is a pattern designed by Jessie Maed, and you can get it off Ravelry or wherever she sells her patterns. I got mine off Ravelry. And it's this cute little knitted bra, basically. I did make some modifications because I really wanted to be able to use it as a bra, which means I needed it to be pretty sturdy and fit a certain way. So, which I somewhat managed to do. This was my first go at it, and I actually would really like to make another one, or 2 or 3, because it really was fast. I mean, it's not like a ton of knitting, you know, it's a small little thing. And now that I've done one, I will better be able to know measurement wise and gauge wise how to make the next one better, and it won't take me as long to figure out my sizing. So for this one, the way it fits, because it's a bra, I just didn't really want to like wear it on camera, but I may include a video here of me wearing it over a tank top just so you can see like how it ended up fitting. But yeah, basically the cups I didn't make quite big enough. I need to make this bottom part, before I start decreasing down there, I need to make this bottom part longer. And then the ribbed part at the bottom, I would actually like to try a twisted rib here so that it's not quite as stretchy, and maybe that will help give me a little bit more firmness, like right around my ribs underneath my bust. So yeah, and then the straps are just like slightly too long. But honestly, it's very wearable. I've worn it a lot. I've actually worn it more over things lately, which wasn't really my intention, but that might be what I end up doing for summer. And then when it's winter, I can just wear it as a bra under sweaters, because it It is a bit warm under things for the summer here. It's not terrible or anything, but I don't think it's as comfortable as I was hoping, like temperature wise, to wear under something. But it really will be perfect for under sweaters in the winter. But also I haven't worn it under things because I've just wanted to show it off. It's so pretty. And I didn't really love this purple color when I started. I actually bought this color by accident because I ordered it online and I thought it was more of a blue, like a royal blue, and it came in and it was like this bluish purple. And I was disappointed initially when I first got it. And I was like, you know what, I have it. I'm happy to support the dyer as an independent dyer, and I just decided I was gonna go with it. And I made this, and just working on it and spending time with the color, I've just really fallen in love with this color, purple. So yeah, I still have more of this yarn, not a lot left, but I'm sure I'll use the scraps in another project. But yeah, so this is my framework bralette designed by Jessie Maed, and definitely hoping to make some more of these. Okay, so this tank top, the Stegosaurus bralette, those are my finished things, which means that I did not finish the cardigan this month. I worked on it a lot, and I'm proud of what I got done on it. But this project has just been really big, and I feel like every single step of it is something brand new to me that I've never done. So there's a learning curve with it. It's not just the knitting time, it's actually mostly just figuring it out and learning the skills required to do the techniques I want to do. So that has definitely made it, like, I feel like I've taken a class. That's a good way to put it. I feel like I've taken a class this year. Like the past 6 months, I've had like this kind of self-taught knitting making class on how to do a cardigan like this. I don't know that anyone else would ever want to do this. I don't know, but yeah, what I did get done on this, I did get the back. I did finish the embroidery I wanted to do on the back, so I can show you that. So there's the orange and kind of fuchsia color. I did duplicate stitch over that brown, and it's definitely very far from perfect, especially the spacing of the rays around the middle of the sun. And if I could go back and do it again, I would probably make the middle smaller and have the rays coming out as more of just like geometric lines so that I could get it spaced more evenly. But you know, it's quirky, it's still really pretty. It has the effect I want of it just like being like really bold and retro. So I do love it. So the other big goal I had, the other big part of this cardigan I still needed to finish were my sleeves. And I did get the first sleeve mapped out and knitted. So here's it's all crinkled because I've used it all up, but this is my intarsia chart. So this is the top of the sleeve going down, and then the cuff of the sleeve is down here. Sorry, I'm trying not to cover up my mouth while I'm talking in case you need to read my lips. But yeah, so this is the top of the sleeve, and then the cuff is down here. So it kind of like swirls down to the cuff. And I really like this design. And then I knitted it, and it was pretty fast, but it's too small. So I knitted it up and blocked it, and I'll put in a video here of me wearing it and showing you how small the sleeve is, which it's wearable like this, but But it just doesn't match the slightly oversized nature of the rest of the cardigan. It just looks like the sleeve is too small for the shape of the cardigan. So even though it's technically fits around my arm, it just doesn't look like I want it to look. So I am going to redo it. And I just finished mapping out another sleeve this morning. And I made the main issue, I think, was that I didn't do enough stitches across the sleeve, so it's not wide enough. So I did this first sleeve at 64 stitches across. And so I did some math, took my gauge on this, and decided I wanted to do 88 stitches across. So I recharted it. I recharted my intarsia design, but I also changed the design and I added some yarn in because I'm adding stitches, which means I'm not sure if I would have enough of just the brown, green, gold, and yellow and white yarn. So just in case, I added in some blue, the blue that is back here, so it's still part of the sweater. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to use up some of my blue scraps on the sleeve as well. So now I've got 5 colors on the sleeve. Let me make sure. Okay. This is the cuff down here. So this will come out of the top of the sweater, and then I've got the cuff right here. So the swirls will kind of go like this up the sides. I was hoping to get like a swirl on the sides of the sleeves, and then like the top of the sleeve kind of have this like fun little highway like down to the cuff. So yeah, so I've got the gold and that royal blue, the lime green and the brown, and then the white here. So that's what I'm gonna try next. Of course, now that it's the end of May, I've got different projects that I have reserved for the month of June. I'm setting my knitting aside, so I won't get to this until July. But when I do start it in July, I've got this already mapped out and figured, so all I have to do is cast on and go. And I don't think it'll take me that long. If these measurements, or these stitch counts that I switched it to are correct, then I'll be able to jump just right into the next sleeve as well. Depending on my yarn count, or my yarn amount when I'm done with this first sleeve, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do the exact same design on the second sleeve, but if I can, that would save me a lot of time. But the back is also, like the design of the back of the cardigan is asymmetrical. Let me show you again. So as you can see, like this top corner curve here is different than the bottom one. So it's not like perfectly symmetrical on the back, which makes me feel like I don't want the sleeves to be perfectly matching either. But we'll see. If I've got enough yarn to do this same design, I might just do it on the other sleeve to save time. Or I might be extra and design something new. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm just gonna design something new because I have a hard time controlling my urge not to do that. But anyways, it's been really, really fun to work on. It's still really fun. I don't feel like I'm dragging my feet getting to this project. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get more of it done in May, but honestly, I don't know how I could have done more on it, especially considering I was like doing all this other knitting, and I'm really happy I did all this other knitting. So anyways, it's just gonna be a month off from this sweater, and then July is my birthday month. So July 25th is my birthday, and I'm really, really excited to just celebrate the month of July with this sweater, get it finished up, hopefully in time for my birthday. And then I've actually got a fun idea. I'll have to have JD help me with this, but I was going to, once this sweater was all done, I was gonna make a little like kind of a marketing video, promo video for it, even though I'm not selling the design or anything, but just take some like fun shots of me running through a field wearing it, and then edit together like a little I don't know, 1 to 2 minute video with music and some close-ups of the sweater, and just like make it a little like, give it some closure on this project, because it really has felt like a, I don't know, just like this big labor of love, intensive class, all like bundled up in one sweater. And that really puts a lot of pressure on the one sweater. But yeah, I just felt like doing a video and documenting it a bit. Maybe I'll even do some voiceover on the video of just like, I don't know, my thoughts on it. And anyways, that's still like up in my dream space a bit, but I thought that would be really fun to finish up in July and do that for the sweater. So that was a lot of talking about one project. I've got one more project to show you that I was able to start in May, and even though I'm not planning on knitting in June, I do still need just like a portable project to bring to church and to therapy and to other places where I'm working, and I'm not sure my June projects will be portable at all. So I have a portable knitting project that I'm really excited to have. So it's not like something that will feel like time wasted. It's definitely something I want, but it's also very simple, and I'll be able to just like do it in church. And yeah, so I started another tank top, but I'm still really excited about it. It's again designed by me as I go. We'll see how it works out, but it's all in, at least so far, unless I change my mind, it's all in 1x1 twisted rib, at least the bottom. So I'm knitting it from the bottom up, and I think until, if you see on this tank top, you can see that I knit up here and then I split for the front and then the back. So I'm gonna knit, oh, okay, sorry about moving. Okay, so I'm gonna knit the 1x1 twisted rib stitch. So this side is the right side, until I get to that split. So I'm gonna knit it all the way up here to my armhole, and then once I split, I'm actually going to do a fun like intarsia swirl design on this, because intarsia, if you haven't done it before, it's significantly easier to do knit flat. And I do the, once I split, see, I do all the rest of the tank top in the round. So I go around up my body, and then when I split, I do the front piece and the back piece, the top of my back piece, flat. It'll just go back and forth like this. And intarsia is much easier to do back and forth. Like it's worth not trying to do it in the round. You can do intarsia in the round, but it is a whole thing, especially when you have more than just 2 colors. I've done it before with just 2 colors, and it was fine, but I definitely don't want to do that with this. So anyways, I'm going to do the rib all the way up, and then I'm gonna try to finish that ribbed part in the month of June. Of course, I'm only working on this again when I need something to do, so it might not get done. I'm not like gonna prioritize it, because I've got other things that I'm trying to prioritize for June. But that's kind of my like soft goal, is to try to get the ribbing part done. Let me show you the stitch. It's really pretty. There we go. So there's that pretty twisted rib, and I'm alternating between a strand of this Madeline Tosh DK weight yarn. Come back, thank you. This Madeline Tosh yarn, it's got like pinks and lavender and orange and yellow. It's really pretty. And then this is the brown yarn I showed in my yarn stash video that I found at the thrift store, and I'm pretty sure it's hand dyed. superwash merino wool. That's how it feels and that's how it smells. So, so yeah, I'm alternating between this like kind of brighter pink and then this brown. Then once I get all the ribbing done, so that's one row of the pink and one row of the brown. And then once I get all the ribbing done all the way up and I get to the intarsia, I'm gonna add in an orange swirl. So I will have this like bright orange swirl going like kind of up my chest, and I'm hoping to continue the design like around my back. And the intarsia won't be in rib, so it'll just be flat knit. So it'll be rib, 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 and then flat knit the rest of the way up. And I wasn't really inspired by a specific design for this, so I don't have any idea how it's gonna turn out. I might hate it. I have no idea how it's gonna work out to transition from a rib that's like, you know, gonna be more tight fitting to a knit flat intarsia that's, you know, again, just gonna sit flatter. It's not gonna be all bunched up like a rib. So I honestly have no idea, but that's not a surprise because I feel like every project I make starts out as an experiment and it never turns out the way I'm expecting. Sometimes for the better and sometimes not. Okay, so those are all my current whips, and June is gonna get interesting. I know I've mentioned here and there now in this video that I'm taking June off from knitting. So what that's all about is that I've had ideas for projects and actual projects that are not knitting related. They're like fiber and textile related, but not knitting related, that have just languished in boxes. But I still really want to make them. I've just more been focused on my knitting because that's what I feel like doing, and it's also, knitting has just felt safe for so long. I've been struggling with my mental health for, well, for a long time, but really just more intensely for the past year or so. And it just has felt like beyond me to try to do something creative that I don't feel comfortable doing. But I'm feeling much, much better now. Past couple months, I have been improving a lot. Medicine has helped me a lot. Therapy has helped me a lot. And of course, my great community and communing with Jesus. So I feel just more mentally able to take on some things that don't feel as comfortable or feel as safe, and I'm really excited about that. Okay, sorry to keep cutting in and out. My camera, I'm using my video camera today instead of my phone, and it's my first time doing that with this podcast, so I'm not quite used to what it's telling me it needs. But I just think my disc filled up, so I just switched to a different words. What are words? These things. Whatever this is called, I switched to a new one. Hopefully we won't have any more interruptions. But what I was saying was, June is, I have kind of set aside for my non-knitting projects. And originally I had in my head that I would do some sewing and embroidery in June, which I still might do, but I think as I was getting to the end of May, I realized that that's not really what I'm in the mood to do. Sewing especially has just a lot of other work tied to it. Like, I really need to get my sewing machine tuned up. I need to just like figure out how I'm going to make cutting space in the office. We don't have like a ton, we have enough space, but it's not a ton of space for sewing. I can make it work, but I just don't know if I'm in the mood right now to make it work. And then the same with embroidery. It's just not like what I'm interested in right now. I am in theory, but I feel like I'm gonna be really, if I try to make myself get into my embroidery project right now, it just won't go very well. So I started thinking about what do I really want to do that's not knitting, and I've been really excited lately to try Latch hook. And I feel like that's probably kind of coming out of left field because I've never mentioned it on the podcast before. But it's not that much out of left field because I loved it when I was a kid. It's very much like a craft you do as a kid where you like get a kit and it takes you forever and ever, and it's something you think only your grandma would do. Which is definitely how I felt about it as a kid, even though I did enjoy doing it. But anyways, you just think of it as like an old-fashioned craft. But as I've learned lately, there's not really any such thing as an old-fashioned craft. You just pick what you like to do and make it work for your style. So I'm hoping to latch hook a wall hanging in the month of June. I bought some latch hook rug canvases. That's like the plastic square grid piece that you use a hook and pull the hook through. And latch hook's really fun because you can use it for a lot of things like rugs and wall hangings, pillow cushions, whatever you like, kind of the like rug texture on. You can use like bags, you can use it for that. I'm making a wall hanging because I'm desperate to get some more color in our living room. And part of my pressure for getting an embroidery done was because I was trying to get an embroidery wall hanging done for the living room. So instead, because I just really feel like I'm in the mood to try some latch hooking, and it uses up some of the yarn I already have, I'm going to do that and make some wall art for my living room. So right before I sat down to film, I gathered some colors from the yarn I have. I'm gonna do probably an abstract swirly design, surprise, surprise. I'm just really into just like big blocks of bold color, but not like geometric necessarily, just like soft curvy things. I feel like that's just been really soothing to me lately, which is why it's shown up in my sweater design and other art I've made lately. So yeah, these are the colors that I'm going to try to use in this latch hook. And of course, as I go, things might shift around. I might add more color, I might take away some of the color. I'm not sure yet, but I'm excited to see where it takes me. I bought a few different latch hook canvases to use. A couple are 10 by 10 and one is 10 by 20. So I'm hoping to finish at least one of the 10 by 10 squares. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't really remember how long it takes. But I'm just very excited to get into it, and hopefully we'll have a little piece of art to share by the end of the month. And if I can do more than one, I would really love to do as much as I can, because the first one will definitely be very much a practice piece, and then maybe I can do the bigger one, the 10 by 20 inch. Those are inches. So yeah, I'm really excited about it though, and it feels very manageable for the month of June. I don't have like a long list of things I'm trying to do in one month. Just like one simple project. I'll still be able to like watch TV with JD in the evenings and work on it, but it will still take a little more focus than, you know, that 1x1 ribbed tank top I showed you. I feel like it'll be a good mix of challenge, but also relaxing. So anyways, that's my latch hook plan for June. I also, if I can get to it, I really want to get back into doing some Procreate designs on my iPad. We just bought a new iPad because Den broke the other one, Life with a Toddler. And we got a very heavy-duty case for this one, so that doesn't happen again. But I have an Apple Pencil, and I haven't been able to use it in a while because the other iPad is broken. And I have Procreate. That's a design app that you can use on an iPad. And I've been really wanting to go ahead and design some wall murals for our home. When we moved into this house, I planned on painting all the walls white and then painting murals through the house. And we have, all the walls are white, and now they're just white, and it's driving me nuts. So, you know, I have plants, I've got art on the walls, but I really had in my head like splashes of bold color and of course lots of swirls. And yeah, I was gonna start with our bedroom as a practice wall because, you know, JD and I are the only ones that go in there, and it'll just be like really fun to see the progression of that in our bedroom. And then I won't have the pressure of like, if it sucks, guests coming over and saying immediately in the living room that it sucks. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get to the actual painting in June, but I would really like to get some designs started in June because that'll just kind of kick off the whole thing, and then I feel like it'll just, you know, snowball effect, get it rolling, and I'll just be excited to go get colors and get started painting. So yeah, and then the last thing I just want to mention as far as June plans are, so I have all these picture frames that I have left over from when I sold watercolor art, and I definitely don't need all the frames, but I've been wanting to keep some of them to use as kind of experiments, like painting over them, figuring out how to attach fiber projects over them to display. So anyways, I've kind of like hung on to them, and my plan for May was to figure out where they would all go in the house, get them on the wall, and then get rid of the rest. But I didn't quite get that far, and I actually ended up having an idea for Den's room, because he really needs some color in there too, to do an art project with him this summer and paint some frames to put his preschool art in. He has a bunch of really cute preschool art that's just on our fridge, and preschool year is over now, and I would just like to put it in a special frame and get it in his room. And obviously a frame that I can like trade stuff out. It's not like something I want to keep forever and ever, but he really likes looking at it. He gets really excited when he sees it on the fridge, and he talks about it still. So I want to keep it hung for a little while longer, and I've got these 4 big frames that I don't like the color of the frame. It's like a grayish brown wood, fake wood color, and I just want to get him painting on them. So I bought a whole bunch of acrylic paint, like cheap acrylic paint, and I think we're going to paint them this summer. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I think I might help him tailor the paint selection down a little bit, because when a 2-year-old gets 5 colors together, they tend to mix them all up and then it's brown. So I think I'm gonna help him make it look good. So we'll do 1 color at a time, let it dry, add another color, let it dry, kind of thing, so that he'll have kind of like the layers of spots of color. I have in my head a vision of what I'm hoping it'll be. I probably need to let that go since I'm involving a 2-year-old in the execution of it, and it's for his room, so I want him to feel like he really did have a part in it. But anyways, I'm really excited about that, and I'm always looking for things that I will enjoy doing that I can do with him, because I'm with him, you know, all day long, every day, and I don't just want to do excavator puzzles all day. Just like, I love doing puzzles, but maybe not the same one of construction vehicles over and over and over. That's just what he's into right now, which is cute, and I want to encourage, but I need some variety of activities. So yeah, we'll do some painting this month. I also wanted to share, because I talked last time about some of the books I was consuming, and I talked about the reading plan that I'm trying to complete by the end of June, reading through the Bible. So I started in January, and I was trying to read through the whole Bible in the first 6 months of the year. And so I just want to share where I'm at with that. So I am in Ezekiel, which I started with Genesis, working through the Old Testament, and then I'm going to read through the whole New Testament. So I'm in Ezekiel in the Bible, in the Old Testament, and I've got about 18 books left of the Old Testament to read, and then the whole New Testament. Which the last 18 books of the Old Testament are relatively short compared to a lot of the earlier books. But there's a good chance that I'm not going to finish the whole Bible by the end of June. And that's honestly totally fine. This is my first time doing kind of a speed read through the Bible, which I don't like calling it that, but I am doing just like a lot bigger chunks per day than I have ever done before, and it's just been a new experience. So yeah, so I'm still hoping to finish by the end of June, but I'm not sure that it's gonna happen. But yeah, I guess you'll have to see in June if I'm able to do that. Well, I think that's it. I know this is a longer episode. I had a lot more to talk about because I didn't get to film a second episode in May, and I've got a lot of new stuff going on in June. So if you're still here, thanks so much for sticking around. Please comment below if you have any questions, or just let me know what you're working on. I always want to hear that. And yeah, see you next one.